I'm Kendra Cook, your host for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association. That's the special district association responsible for bringing the area free to access TV stations over the air by antenna. This is a community TV station, so if there's a news story or information that you would like to share, you can call us at 970-677-4119. And if you're a business or organization, we welcome you to find out about sponsorship opportunities for banners or video segments to be run on the channel. This is the Friday program for June 19th, 2020, DCTV Daily News. Favorable weather conditions aid firefighters on the East Canyon and six-shooter fires, as reported in the Durango Herald. With a photo, Jerry McBride. Firefighters plan to take advantage of favorable weather conditions on Thursday to secure fire lines and mop up hotspots along two wildfires that broke out this week in southwest Colorado. After 4 days of red flag warnings, weather forecasters were calling for cooler temperatures and calmer winds on Thursday, with temperatures expected to stay below the 80-degree level and winds of just 10 to 15 miles an hour from the southwest. But a fire weather watch will go into effect today, Friday, for the region. Quote, "We are by no means out of a bad situation in terms of the fire weather situation," Darren Clabo, the meteorologist for the incident response team, said in a virtual press conference on Thursday. Quote, "There's absolutely not precipitation in sight." The East Canyon fire had grown to 2,764 acres with zero containment as of Thursday morning. The blaze sparked to life on Sunday, one day after a lightning storm moved through the region. It was burning along the Montezuma-La Plata County line south of U.S. Highway 160. More than 36 homes were evacuated earlier this week, but the evacuations were lifted on Thursday in both Montezuma and La Plata counties. And those homes were instead placed on pre-evacuation status, meaning those residents can return home but should be prepared to evacuate if severe fire activity resumes. Homes on Road G.3 in Montezuma County remain evacuated because of their proximity to the fire. The six-shooter fire has grown to 224 acres and was 25% contained, according to a news release on Thursday morning from the Bureau of Indian Affairs. That blaze also was sparked by the Saturday lightning storm, but didn't roar to life until Tuesday afternoon. It is burning in a remote area south of Durango on the east side of U.S. Highway 550 near Bondad. No structures have been lost in either fire. Fire activity on the north edge of the East Canyon fire has been reduced to, quote, smoldering and creeping, with occasional isolated tree torching, according to a news release from the Type 2 Rocky Mountain Incident Management Team. Firefighters and engines in that area were mopping up and securing the fire lines, supported by helicopters as needed. Hotshot crews were building fire line around the western perimeter, working their way to the south. On the east edge, crews widened control lines by gradually burning out fuels between the main body of the fire and Cherry Creek Road, County Road 105. Firefighters were working to mop up a spot fire that crossed Cherry Creek Road earlier this week, but no new spot fires had been reported. At the southeast corner, firefighters were allowing the fire to gradually make its way to a bulldozer line that ties in with Cherry Creek Road on the east. Hotshot crews will begin building fire line by hand to tie in with the control line on the west. Deputy Incident Commander Jared Hahn said a virtual press conference containment should start to pick up in the next few days. But there's no plan in place to transfer command, given that weather conditions could lead to increased fire activity. Quote, "We do not want to leave a fire that's going to grow after we leave," he said. With winds expected to pick up today on Friday, fire managers are concerned that there could be an uptick in the fire activity. Quote, "That can really push this fire across the landscape," Clabo said, "so we're monitoring that closely." Fire engines have been patrolling through the nights to keep the fire within containment lines, and firefighters have been protecting individual homes and critical infrastructure. The fire had 245 firefighters, 15 engines, 7 pieces of heavy equipment, and a full complement of air resources available. The six-shooter fire, named after the canyon where it is located, grew only 4 acres on Wednesday. It's located on the Southern Ute Indian Reservation lands. Ground crews plan to cut more fire lines on Thursday to increase containment. Smoke was visible from Highway 550 and County Road 318. No homes are in immediate danger as fire activity remains confined to the canyon. The tribe was working with oil and gas operators in the area to shut in facilities in an effort to mitigate any potential impacts from those operators to first responders' ability to contain the fire. The fire had 105 people assigned to it, and aerial resources were standing by in case needed. Agencies involved included the BIA, Southern Ute Agency Fire Management, Los Pinos Fire Protection District, Durango Fire Protection District, Fort Lewis Mesa Fire Protection District, and modules from the states of Colorado and Oklahoma. With a photo courtesy of Brad Petruska. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the Journal reports that the loading pen fire near Stoner in the Dolores River Valley grew to 42 acres on Thursday and was 65% contained, fire officials said. The fire is burning in thick timber on the steep hillside of Hay Camp Mesa. 30 firefighters worked through Wednesday night, two nights ago, to contain two spot fires, which were discovered around 10:30 p.m. The fires, less than a quarter acre, were contained within 2 hours. Crews then worked through the night to secure lines around the main fire and the spot fires. A spot fire is caused when embers float over the fire line and find new fuel sources. A Chinook twin-rotor helicopter was again used for a short time on Thursday morning to drop water on remaining hot spots. Because firefighters have been able to increase containment on this fire, resources will be released to work on other fires. A Type 3 incident management team has been managing the loading pen fire since Monday and plans to return control to local resources on Saturday morning. About 40 people will continue to work the fire. On Wednesday, a control line at the top end of the fire held, and firefighters made progress along the flanks, fire officials said. The fire was started by lightning again, June 13th, and is being fought with a full suppression strategy. It's visible from Colorado Highway 145. There were 109 firefighters battling the blaze, including the San Juan Hotshots and Tatanka Hotshots. Planes and helicopters have been dropping water and retardant. A bulldozer and fire engines are also on the scene. Firefighters are working against strong winds on steep terrain, officials said, and are making progress establishing control lines from a meadow along the river to the top of the canyon rim. Quote, "This fire has continued to be active even through the last couple of nights, the incident commander Brad Petruska said, but the crews have done an excellent job trying to get around it. As of 5 p.m., the top control line of the fire was holding, fire dispatch reported. Crews on the ground and in the air are monitoring for spot fires so that they can be suppressed. Contingency plans are being developed should the fire escape the current lines." And again, that twin-rotor Chinook helicopter assisted with the firefighters on the ground by dropping water on the, quote, green side of the fire lines. This action helps to prevent any embers that may float over the line from getting established in new fuel. To better secure existing control lines, firefighters were carefully applying fire along control lines. They're called burnouts. They strengthen the lines by eliminating the fuel between the line and the naturally advancing wildfire. The burnouts are small in size, less than 5 acres, but have a big impact on firefighters' ability to contain the fire. 2 small spot fires, as was said, less than a quarter acre inside, were also discovered around 10:30 p.m. on the Wednesday night walkabout. A spot fire is caused when an ember floats over the fire line and lands in a receptive unburned area. The 20-person San Juan Interagency Hot Shot crew and the 10-person Skyway Wildland Fire Module quickly surrounded and contained those 2 small fires. Crews have been working the past several days to bring the fire down a steep hillside, and they have been preparing fire lines along the meadow at the bottom of the hill. On Tuesday night, again, the fire crossed control lines. Tree ignition, known as torching, was observed about 6 a.m. on Wednesday and remained active in a few pockets, according to InsaWeb. Fire behavior in mixed conifer and aspen includes isolated torching, creeping, and backing fire. A containment anchor point has been established on the northern edge of the fire near the bottom of the hillside. Hotshot crews were working in tandem, chopping in fire line uphill on the eastern and western flanks. Quote, "The firefighters have just done a tremendous job cutting and digging line up a very steep slope," says Incident Commander Tracy Milakovich, "and all that hard work has been paying off." A red flag warning for critical fire weather was issued for Wednesday and is also issued for today, Friday. Critical low humidities overnight resulted in fire growth, and conditions are predicted to remain in the short term. A local Type 3 incident management team is coordinating the firefighting effort, and smoke will continue to be visible, especially from Colorado Highway 145 and smoke is settling into the valley. Authorities request that drivers do not stop to watch fire activity on the narrow road. Gusty winds, dry fuels, low humidity, and the potential for the fire to spread to the vast surrounding forest made full suppression a priority for the Loading Pen fire. The wildfire is about 8 miles southwest of the 2018 Burrow Fire burn scar. And remember, there is a Dolores County-wide open burn ban for the county until further notice. And now, let's take a look at that local and dry weather. Today, sunny with a high near 77 degrees. North-northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour become west in the afternoon. Tonight, clear with a low around 48 degrees with northwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, shifting to the north at 5 to 10 by the evening. And we do have a red flag warning on today until 9 p.m. tonight once again. And it's shaping up to be a nice weekend start. For Saturday, sunny with a high near 82 degrees with light and variable winds becoming west at 5 to 10 miles an hour in the afternoon. Then into Saturday, partly cloudy overnight with a low around 53, west-northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, shifting light and variable in the evening. And then it will start the first day of summer as a heat up. Sunday, sunny, hot, a high near 86 degrees, still light and variable winds becoming west-northwest 5 to 10 miles an hour with wind gusts to 20 miles an hour for Sunday. Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 55 and hotter for the beginning of next week. Monday, we're looking for sunny with a high near 89. Monday night, mostly clear, a low around 55, and repeat for Tuesday, sunny with a high near 88 degrees. Tuesday night, mostly clear and a low around 56. And Wednesday, sunny with a high near 89. Wednesday night, mostly clear and a low around 57. And now back to our news. Governor Polis signs Police Reform and Accountability Bill into law. Governor Jared Polis has signed its Senate Bill 217, which will increase police accountability and transparency in Colorado, as reported in the Patch.com news site with photo of the Capitol by Amber Fisher of Patch. Governor Jared Polis signed a sweeping police reform and accountability bill last Friday, today, Juneteenth, amid nationwide protests calling for justice. Community leaders, civil rights attorneys, and the families of Elijah McClain and Devon Bailey attended the signing at the Colorado State Capitol. Senate Bill 217, the Law Enforcement Integrity and Accountability Act, will increase accountability and transparency within Colorado's law enforcement system. Quote, Juneteenth did not mark the end to racism in our country, nor did it end the racial iniquities, Polis said during a news conference Friday morning. The struggle continues. The House voted 52 to 13 to pass the bill on June 12th. The new provisions aim to strengthen the criminal legal standard for police officers who use excessive force. The provisions also ban chokeholds and protects protesters from police violence. The bill will require all law enforcement to use body cameras and to collect and report data on those who are stopped and searched. SB 20-217 Law Enforcement Integrity Act provisions include mandate body cameras, make video of police misconduct publicly available, and hold officers accountable when they fail to record. Officers will have to record interactions with the public, and when they turn off their camera, they will be held accountable. When officers are accused of misconduct, the body cam footage must be released to the public within 21 days and ensures that the victim of the officer misconduct and the victim's family receive the footage 72 hours prior to public release. It also requires data collection and public reporting on policing. All law enforcement agencies will be required to track demographic data of people they encounter. This data will include any use of force, both the type and severity, civilian searches, forced entries into homes, and the unholstering and discharge of a firearm. Also, rein in the use of deadly force by officers, changes the use of force standard to outlaw chokeholds, outlaw deadly force against someone fleeing the police who does not pose an immediate risk, outlaw the use of deadly force to arrest people for minor offenses and nonviolent offenses, and require officers to use nonviolent means before resorting to any force. It also requires officers to intervene to stop excessive force. The law creates a duty for officers to intervene and stop excessive force and makes failure to intervene by an officer a criminal offense. And decertify officers who use unlawful force. If a court or internal investigation finds that an officer used unlawful force or officer is convicted of a violent offense, tampered with body camera footage to cover up misconduct, or failed to intervene to stop unlawful use of force that results in serious bodily injury or death, the officer will lose post certification, thus stopping bad police officers from continuing to put the public at risk. Also, public database to prevent rehiring of bad officers. Officers who are found untruthful, terminated for cause, or decertified would be listed in a publicly available database to prevent them from moving from one agency to another. And justice for victims of police violence by ending qualified immunity. The law allows victims of police misconduct to bring a lawsuit for the violation of their constitutional rights. Officers found liable will no longer be shielded by the doctrine of qualified immunity, which has served to protect bad officers from accountability and denied justice to victims, and protect protesters from police use of tear gas and projectiles. That's in response to incidents at recent protests. The law prohibits law enforcement officers from shooting rubber bullets indiscriminately into a crowd and prohibits targeting rubber bullets at someone's head, torso, or back. The law also prohibits using tear gas without first warning the crowd and giving people time and a route to disperse. In a statement, the Colorado District Attorney's Council announced its support for the measure. Quote, in recognition of the signing of SB 20-217 by the governor this morning, the Colorado District Attorney's Council commends not just the sponsors of the bill, but also the critical input from so many other legislators, both Republicans and Democrats, who worked so hard to make this a truly collaborative and bipartisan bill in furtherance of meaningful and responsible law enforcement policy and practices. The Journal Advocate reported on the state's hemp management plan with a file photo of a hemp field out of Sterling, Colorado. Colorado submitted the state's hemp management plan to the U.S. Department of Agriculture on Thursday, certifying that the state has the resources and personnel to carry out the practices and procedures contained in the plan. The Colorado Department of Agriculture, the Office of Governor Jared Polis, and the Office of the Attorney General jointly filed the document with the USDA. According to the Agricultural Commissioner, Kate Greenberg, the 28-page plan addresses the many aspects involved in managing a successful and sustainable state commercial hemp industry. Greenberg called the plan, quote, visionary, citing the use of third-party approved labs and approved samplers to accomplish 100% variety testing, as well as options for discipline waivers and post-harvest testing under certain conditions. In a cover letter to Secretary of Agriculture Sonny Perdue, Greenberg said that Colorado is an innovator in the hemp industry. Quote, Colorado is an innovating force in the regulation and development of this burgeoning agricultural commodity, Greenberg said in a letter, quote, our plan provides a robust framework to advance Colorado's thriving hemp industry while addressing the specific concerns and requirements laid out by the USDA in a manner that best works for Colorado and its hemp producers, end quote. The plan notes that the state developed the Colorado Hemp Advancement and Management Plan in 2019 after the Colorado legislature passed House Bill 19-1214, mandating that the Agriculture Commissioner consult with members of the hemp industry in drawing up the state's plan. Greenberg said that the plan incorporated feedback received from numerous stakeholders statewide, including input from farmers, processors, and product manufacturers, state and local government agencies, healthcare professionals, financial service providers, law enforcement, and academic institutions. Brian Kuntz, Industrial Hemp Program Manager for the CDA, said that the state's experience with hemp helped greatly in putting the plan together. Quote, with our experience administering a hemp program in Colorado for the past 5 years, we were able to bring together leaders with expertise in every link of the hemp supply chain to help us understand the challenges we face in helping to grow the industry, Kuntz said. The state will implement this plan beginning November 1st this year, pending approval from the USDA. Colorado was one of the first states in the nation to implement an industrial hemp program, expanding to more than 87,000 registered acres and 5,539 registrations over the last 5 years and becoming the largest cultivation state in the nation. Perhaps hemp is the future. And today's High Canyon Country happenings, phew, there actually are more things happening. Well, a reminder that the actual full-scale pick and hoe is canceled for this year due to the restrictions on social gatherings and the potential to bring in a lot of people from surrounding areas who might be sick while the town and county remain at 0 cases of the Project COVID-19. But the community can celebrate July 4th, Independence Day, in some manner. A peaceful assembly akin to a parade, but not officially a parade, can organically collect behind the courthouse on that Saturday, July 4th, and wind through the town streets. Families, as always, are allowed to gather for picnics or drive up and down Main Street, like the highway, with respect to the local laws. Then in the late afternoon, you're welcome to head out to the State Line Bar and Grill, where the DC Chamber is hosting Crossroads live band playing. They are contracted for the Pick and Hoe for music before the fireworks. And yes, at Dark 30, our Dove Creek Volunteer Fire Department will be doing the traditional display near Weber Park. There will be no fundraising event for this year, so donations have come in from the Rock, the Pick and Hoe Fund, the Community Voice, the DC Chamber, and the town of Dove Creek. Any and all donations can be made to the DC Volunteer Fire Department, so you can watch from home or park your car and watch, or sit outside to get a good view. This year, more than ever in my lifetime, the symbolism of celebration of this country's birth, the birth of our nation in 1776 as a constitutional republic, needs to be appreciated and understood the importance of what this assembly of states for a United States of America is meant to be. As always, be responsible for yourself and your families, and remember there is a countywide open fire burn ban, and the fire department will be busy maintaining the fireworks display that night, so please do not break the law with unauthorized fireworks that could start a fire. And in other local happenings this weekend, as we hit the longest solar day of the year, the summer solstice on Saturday, June 20th, the Alec Tabor Memorial Poker Run will be happening for Alec's Scholarship Fund. It will begin at Carrie Tabor's house at 817 North Dove at 9 a.m. The route is suitable for any vehicle, so you don't have to have an OHV this time. And the cost is $25 per hand, $15 to the Scholarship Fund and $10 to the pot. They will not be holding a 5K walk-run fundraiser this year, so this will be it for the next year's scholarships. You also don't have to participate in the ride to participate in the poker hand, and multiple hands are also allowed. You must sign a waiver to participate, and if you have any questions, call Carrie at 970-739-5910. And the same day, Saturday the 20th, the State Line Bar and Grill is having a poker run starting at 10:30 a.m. Leaving from the Dove Creek Sinclair at 11 a.m. They will be going to the River Bar in Dolores and then on to the Enterprise Bar in Rico. A nice cool morning at that elevation, and then back through Mancos, and next stop at Blondie's in Cortez, and then back to the State Line for live music by Crossroads in the afternoon, to which everyone is welcome to come out and listen or socially acceptably dance with your own group. And the special on Saturday at the State Line is a surf and turf dinner. For the poker run, it's a $25 entry fee per hand with no limits, and winner takes all. And they will eat in Rico at the outdoor patio bar at the Enterprise. They also say it's a fun way to just get out on their bikes, and call for further details at 677-2649. Also on Sunday this weekend, it's Father's Day. The Dove Creek Chamber continues to promote shopping locally to help spend the dollars in our town. Gift certificates are an easy way to let your favorite dad get something special he'd like to have, or a meal at one of the local establishments. The State Line is having a special Father's Day meal featuring smoked jalapeno popper stuffed pork loin. Reservations are recommended, and again, you can reach them at 677-2649. And I post up all of these High Canyon Country happenings on our Facebook page, which is DCTV Daily News, where you might be watching me right now. You can also watch the program replay there with news links and stories of local interest, and you too can share other events or news and join in on the conversation. This is your local community TV station, so if you have something that you would like to share, contact us. The email is dcbnnews@gmail.com, or call the station 970-677-4119. Thank you for tuning in to DCTV Daily News. Programs are broadcast on Monday through Friday with replays online on our YouTube channel or on the DCTV Daily News page on Facebook. And if you like the program, please do like and follow us on Facebook and share it with your friends and family. This has been a production of DCTV for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado, USA. I'm Kendra Cook. Again, thank you for watching.